How do you structure your day and time whilst maintaining a bit of balance?
It's fucking hard. Some of the things that we're putting in place, making sure, that phone doesn't stop ringing. So finding somebody to pick the phone up.
You put time, energy, and invest in bettering yourself. Just talk us a bit about that and why that's important.
Yeah, so resilience, that word, that's so fucking important, man, because especially like right now, with the amount of stress levels we have, to build that resilience, I have a habit stack. So this morning I got up at 5 o'clock, do my breath work, do my meditation, 30 minutes exercise a day. It's stressful at the moment, but there's nothing that you can't overcome.
Growing pains are very difficult, but as soon as you are able to bring in additional resources to remove some of that load, and the best way to start with that is like,
time to get fired up. Yeah, I'm getting fired up.
your thoughts can become plans, plans can become actions, and actions become a reality. We share powerful stories and simple steps to fast track your business and personal growth. Are you ready to make it happen? Let's get fired up. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we are talking to Santia van Toorn, and together himself and his wife not only have one but two businesses, and we're going to talk about how those businesses started, how they're operating today, what they do, and then in the next episode we're going to talk about some of the challenges that they're facing and some of the highlights that they've had, and also how leading into different marketing ideas and systems and support is helping them path the way for the future. So, Santia, my man, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Pumped to be here, man.
That's
Finally.
Yeah. Been putting this off for a while. I appreciate you coming down. I know it's a challenging time at the moment, but it seems to be that way in business all the time anyway.
Yeah, that's life.
That's life. Let's battle on. So tell us, two businesses, tell us about them, and let's start there.
Yeah, sure. So, I'll give you a bit of the two businesses that we have. We've got a hot yoga Pilates studio and a charter boat on the Noosa River. So the Pilates studio in Yamundi was started by my wife. Shout out to Angie. And she started that from scratch, basically. So that was pretty amazing watching her build that from nothing, going from, is there going to be anybody coming to the studio at all to where she's got it today, which is it's doing well, but it could be doing better. And I've recently been working away, probably the last 5 or 6 years, working away on the drilling rigs, and just wanted to be closer to the family and not working away all the time. So we purchased a already existing business, which had quite good numbers and was reasonably successful on the Noosa River. And we've had that for coming just over 12 months now. So both of them humming along really nicely, but lots of challenges. Actually been probably a pretty stressful month for me, to be honest. Been lost a couple skippers, so working 7 days a week at the moment, school holidays, moving a house. Gave myself a hernia somehow, so it's all kind of lumped in at once. But like I keep on saying, it's life. It just keeps on coming at you, and you just gotta just keep on going and it is what it is.
Let's talk about this yoga business. So first of all, what's it called?
Yeah, it's called Wildfire Fitness.
Right.
And so...
How did she get into that? I'm assuming she loved yoga and fitness anyway, and that was something she did in her part-time. But when she started thinking about what kind of business would I like to get into, was that just the natural direction?
Well, actually, Angie's quite entrepreneurial in herself. So she's a florist as well. So she started a floristry business at one point, which was sort of a side hustle. Quite hard, you've got flowers that are always dying, and trying to do that as being a full-time mother and everything. So it was tricky. So she's always been kind of searching for what she likes. She's a professional dancer, so she did a lot of jazz and ballet and all that sort of stuff. So she'd always wanted to open her own studio, and then she got into the Pilates and decided, hey, this could be a really good opportunity to do something she loves, as opposed to having to work the corporate job and being told by other people what to do, and being stressed out by somebody else. So she took up the course and then just took the plunge. Found we originally had a place up in Mullaney that we wanted to do a full fitness centre, but that kind of fell through with the contracts. And then this little place came up in Yamundi, and that's where we are at the moment. So yeah, it's a busy little studio. It's cute. It's boutique, and she's done a really good job of getting it to where it is today. So
yeah, I mean, I've been there. I've done a session with you. I almost died and vomited. I thought yoga and Pilates was supposed to be easy, but
Hot Pilates as well. So
Yeah.
you got 35 degrees there, which is awesome. I love the sweat.
it was pretty intense.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I think just from what, from the outside looking in, really nice setup, really nice place. You're obviously targeting the right type of clientele, filling the spaces in the classes. And Ange seems to be kind of really excelling in the marketing and social space. How did she get good at that, or where is this kind of business knowledge for Ange come from? Is it just fail and fix, or is she getting help from somewhere?
I think at the moment it's sort of fail and fix. She did have a bit of a marketing. She worked for the Sofitel or something like that back in the day in her early career. She was working in the marketing department there. She's got a real creative flair, which I don't have at all, which is great. So we work well as a team. I'm very operationally driven, so I like to get shit done. She does as well, but she can really make stuff look good, and she's got a talent for that. So I think it was self-learned more than anything. But to say that we've got the social media strategy down right now, 100%, I would say not 100%, but we have recently hired somebody as well from the Philippines who's helping. They've already updated the website and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, there is a self-learning and creative flair that she's got there. And I think that's just self-learning, basically. She learned how to build the website herself. She learned how to do Wix. So, stuff that I think I'd struggle with, to be honest.
Yeah. And so let's flip to the other business, because that's, relatively new. You bought an existing business.
Correct.
Versus starting one from scratch.
Yeah.
And like, you full-time employed, had a full-time gig and working over on the rigs and doing FIFO and stuff. And then true to your nature, let's add more stuff on the plate. But when you were out there looking for, let's find a business.
Yeah.
How did you end up with this one? Like, what was on the checklist? It must be lifestyle, it must be water, or how did you come across this?
My background when I left high school early on was I left high school, became a dive instructor, and I was running dive boats in Pai here in Kaikoura, New Zealand. I'm from New Zealand, obviously, but I don't sound like a Kiwi anymore. But that was my passion, the water. So that's where I went. I went to Thailand diving over there, and then realized, this is a lifestyle job. I'm getting pissed every day, having lots of fun, and having a good time, but I'm not really getting anywhere. So ended up doing a business degree, blah, blah, blah. But so ended up over here and fell into recruitment and all that. But really, I suppose back to the question, why did we choose business? Yeah, I love water. So it's a passion of mine. So being on the water, it's a great little boat, and it has a really good following. So TripAdvisor, we got 5-star reviews, and that's 10 years worth of work that the other owners put in. And they did a really good job. The boats was really well maintained. Everything looked really good. So it was a good little package. We had to sell a few investments to purchase that business. But and it's great opportunity for us to have something that it kind of like buying a job at the moment, because it gave me an opportunity to step out what I'm doing and actually earn an income.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this episode. Just quickly, if you're ready to ditch that 9-to-5 or grow your sideline hustle and live a life on your terms, then click the link below to join our free Fired Up Facebook group. We'll also be providing their tips, tricks, tools, techniques. Would love you to click that and join on it. Back to the episode.
But grow the business. So the challenge we have at the moment is trying not to work in the business. That whole adage where you can't work in the business and grow the business, you have to be working on the business. So this is the part that's really hard at the moment.
Yeah.
But there's light. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. It's I just see it as a moment in time that we're going through. Yeah.
And 2 young kids.
2 young kids, yeah.
And like you said, and all the other stuff. I mean, like, how do you manage this all? Because it even sounds difficult, which means that actually doing it must be almost near impossible. Like, how do you structure your day and time in order to put all of this in whilst maintaining a bit of balance?
It's fucking hard. There is no balance at the moment, I've got to say. Right now, there's no balance. We've had balance in the past, but startup business, that took a lot of energy. This other one still requires, there's a lot of maintenance there. But I think some of the things that we're putting in place to try and manage that, like we've talked about in your coaching sessions are, making sure, that phone doesn't stop ringing. Is that the best use of Ange's time? So finding somebody to pick the phone up, and even when you're trying to get work done. Also, making sure that we have all the tasks that aren't adding, I'm not just going to say add value, like every task is important, but stuff that we shouldn't be focusing on. I need to be focusing on finances and making sure that the liquor license is sorted, all that sort of stuff that we're adding to the businesses at the moment, not worrying about how to update the colours on the website. So hence we've got the outsourced person in the Philippines. So we're going to see how that goes. I've got high hopes. So those are some of the strategies we're putting in place to try and manage that. But yeah, at the moment, there's not a huge amount of balance, I got to admit.
I think it's worth mentioning on it because you touched on a couple of points which will be valuable for people watching this, is like growing pains are very difficult, particularly when you're heading into new environments and doing new things, because the learning curve takes longer than someone who's been there before or specialized in it. But you guys are absolutely bang on. As soon as you are able to bring in additional resources to remove some of that load, you should be doing it. And the best way to start with that is like, what are some of the entry-level tasks or basic tasks, administration, social media, all that stuff can be outsourced and put offshore at a very low cost base. So the thing to think about is, what is my time worth as a dollar value? Because if someone else can do it for a less dollar value, then they should. And where is my time well spent? Because if it's not well spent trying to figure out your social media plan, then stop doing it. Like you're not good, so don't try and be good.
Yeah. I'll go as far as to even say, we've been renovating a house for the last 6 months, and we just moved in yesterday, well, halfway through it. So I haven't put any curtain rails up. I haven't put any IKEA furniture together because I got somebody doing that for me, because pay somebody $35 an hour versus me being on the boat making whatever I'm making. Yeah. It's a no-brainer. So, even little things like that. So that's, we couldn't have moved and done what I've been doing, operating the wave. We haven't outsourced, even little things like that, to come and put the IKEA furniture together. So,
So let's talk about, it's obviously like in a bit of that tough stage at the moment, and business life, same thing. It's a roller coaster. It's like great, and then it's tough, and then it's great, and then it's tough. From the tough times, you'll learn a lot. And great times never last forever as well. So we have to kind of take it in ebbs and flows. What are you, and look, I know that you're a lifelong learner. You put time, energy, and invest in bettering yourself and put it into your health and fitness as well. Just talk us a bit about that and why that's important for the kind of holistic lifestyle that you're creating here.
Yeah, so resilience, that word, that's so fucking important, man, because especially like right now, like with the amount of stress levels we have with so many things going on, house moves, no skeppers, teachers going away. Like, I've got eight staff at the studio that come and go, and working 7 days a week, blah, 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 the usual sort of stuff. But, if you didn't have that resilience, and the way for me personally, and everybody's different, to build that resilience, I have a habit stack, So this morning I got up at 5 o'clock and I, Ange was awake. She got up at 3:45, and she was away by whatever time to do the first five classes I think she does today on a Thursday. And do my breath work, do my meditation, make sure that I'm having my cold showers, 30 minutes exercise a day, no alcohol at the moment. We've also throw another thing in there. We're doing a full metabolic reset at the moment, so trying to get we've done our blood works, getting a full diet plan based off your body type, and it's tough, man. Like, and it shows you how much you actually overeat and what you don't need. But it's that layer that on top of everything else as well. So you're having to be really structured while you're weighing everything, but it's really awesome. It's we've decked the house out now. We're going to be making our own bread. We're going to be nutrition is so important as well. So all that stuff, because if you don't have all that stuff nailed down and you don't have any resilience, then you can't deal with the stress, and everything becomes too hard, and
the roll-on impact of it
implode or explode, whatever it is. So lots of thought time driving here today, 2 hours, and just going, what, it's stressful at the moment, but like I was talking to you earlier, I read the daily Stoics, part of my habit stack as well. And I love the sayings, and Nelson Mandela was in jail for 27 years. Imagine being in jail for 27 years. So we got it pretty fucking good, man. We live in Australia. I drive a boat on the Noosa River. We've got little bits and problems, but they're really first world problems. There's nothing that you can't overcome. You just have to have a positive mindset and just stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah. Gratitude.
Yeah,
you know?
gratitude. That's another thing, man. Gratitude. Every day you got to be grateful.
Yeah.
We've got 2 healthy children. We've got a beautiful house. We've got everything we need, really.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
that's me in a nutshell as far as being able to be resilient. Yeah.
Mate, I appreciate it. I'm sorry that you're going through a bit of a tough time, but I've known
it's
you
all
for
good.
long enough to know that
No,
you'll
we'll be
come out
good.
the other side
We'll be fine.
shining and swinging a sword. Guys, stick around for the next episode because we're going to talk a bit more detail into Santia's businesses, some of the challenges that they've faced, how they're leaning towards making direction and changes. He spoke about hiring people, but also getting the assistance and support. And more importantly, like when you do hit these obstacles along the way, how can you go around fixing that and getting support and advice to point you in the right direction to remove some of that friction and actually start to build for the future as well. So stick around and we'll get into it a bit more then. Catch you later. If you've enjoyed this episode, then subscribe on YouTube or follow our podcast on your favorite platform. We drop a new episode every week. You'll be doing us a massive favor. If you know someone that would benefit from listening to this, then share it with them. You'll be doing them a massive favor. And if you want the tips, tools, and resources to support you on this journey, then join our exclusive Facebook community and follow our socials. You'll be doing yourself a massive favor.